All right, so today we're diving deep into Taijiquan and Qigong, and
Yeah.
you've given us a collection of what you call,
The classics?
yeah, the classics on these practices,
Right.
and you're looking to get a clear sense of what makes them unique, but also where they overlap.
Absolutely.
It's a fascinating area,
Yeah.
especially with that connection to the ancient philosophy of Yin and Yang.
Yeah, it's key.
Yeah.
It's key to understanding both practices.
Yeah.
The idea of balancing opposing forces.
Right.
It's woven into the very fabric of these practices.
Yeah, and it seems that Qigong has a much longer history,
Um,
going all the way back to the Zhou dynasty.
yes.
That makes Taijiquan,
Right.
which emerged much later, almost a newcomer by comparison.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Qigong really laid the groundwork, so to speak.
Yeah,
But Tai Chi has its own intriguing origins.
right.
Have you ever heard the story about Zhang Sanfeng?
I have not.
The founder of Tai Chi Chuan.
Okay.
He was inspired by witnessing a fight between a sparrow and a snake.
That's interesting pairing.
Yeah, how about that? How
Yeah.
did that lead to Tai Chi?
Yeah, how did that?
Well, the snake, with its fluid movements,
Yeah.
could deflect the sparrow's attacks
Interesting.
while remaining calm and centered.
Okay,
That's the essence of Tai Chi,
right.
yielding to an opponent's force rather than meeting it head on.
I see.
From that observation, a martial art was born, drawing from Taoist philosophy the interplay of yin and yang,
Wow.
and even ancient medical knowledge about blood and qi circulation.
Okay.
Tai Chi touchstones, Yang family secret transmissions, goes into great detail on this connection.
So both practices are ultimately about cultivating and manipulating qi, that vital energy or life force.
Yes.
And they both aim to promote health, vitality, and well-being,
Mm-hmm.
which aligns with ancient Chinese philosophy on balance and harmony.
Yeah,
But they seem to go about it in very different ways.
they do. One of the most obvious differences is the way they approach movement.
Okay.
Qigong focuses on static postures and breathing exercises, almost like hitting the pause button to work with that internal energy.
While Tai Chi Chuan emphasizes those flowing movements,
Exactly.
like a graceful dance with a martial aspect woven in.
Exactly. And even the names of some of the Tai Chi postures are so evocative.
Oh, yeah.
Cloud hands.
Right.
White crane shows its wings.
Yeah.
They really paint a picture of this synergy between the body and qi.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But both Qigong and Tai Chi Chuan are steeped in this concept of civil and martial qualities.
That's interesting. It sounds like you're saying they both have elements of self-defense and
Correct.
personal development.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on that?
Of course. When you cultivate qi and achieve internal balance, it benefits your health and vitality.
Oh,
That's the civil aspect.
I see.
But that same cultivation can also make you more effective in self-defense.
Right.
The martial side.
Okay.
It's not about one being better than the other,
Right.
but understanding how they complement each other.
So it's not just about physical movements,
Right.
but about harmonizing your inner and outer self.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see the deeper layers here.
Precisely.
Yeah.
One of the classics explaining Taiji Principles, Taiji for Shuo, puts it this way.
Okay.
A dose of civil in the martial makes it a softened physical exercises.
Interesting.
And adding more martial to the martial would make it a hardened fighting drill.
I see.
It's about finding that sweet spot, that balance where the internal and external work together.
So they both have this potential to improve your well-being,
Right.
but in distinct ways.
You do.
For example, Qigong seems to work more on cultivating internal energy through stillness and breath control.
Yes. And that focus on stillness can be surprisingly powerful.
Right.
One of the sources even talks about the habit of drifting,
Right.
how ingrained habits make us vulnerable to suggestion.
Okay.
Qigong aims to help you become aware of those subtle internal energies
Interesting.
and learn to control them.
So even though it's not about fighting,
Right?
it's still a way of mastering your internal state.
Yeah.
Almost like an internal martial art.
You could say that.
What are some of the specific ways Qigong achieves this?
Well, one of the classics, Tai Chi Chuan Chinese self-healing, Yang style, describes a fascinating breathing exercise
Okay.
where you visualize drawing energy up from your lower abdomen to the top of your head.
Wow.
It's all about creating a smooth and balanced circulation of qi.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
It really emphasizes the connection between breath energy and awareness.
It does.
And it reminds me of something we were talking about earlier, Taijiquan's emphasis on sensitivity and awareness.
Right.
It seems there's a similar thread there.
Absolutely. Tai Chi places a lot of emphasis on listening to your opponent's energy,
Huh?
almost like anticipating their next move.
Right.
There's a classic saying, 4 ounces deflecting 1,000 pounds.
So it's not about overpowering your opponent with strength,
Exactly.
but understanding the flow of their energy and using it to your advantage.
Precisely. Imagine feeling your partner's weight shift before they even step.
Wow.
That's listening in Tai Chi.
Okay.
Sensing their intention before they act.
That's amazing. It sounds like a very subtle and nuanced skill.
It is.
Are there any other examples of this sensitivity in action?
Well, Wang Zhongyu, a key figure in Tai Chi history, wrote, "If he takes no action, I take no action.
Right.
But once he takes even the slightest action, I have already acted."
Wow.
This highlights the importance of awareness and responsiveness in Tai Chi.
That's so interesting. So Tai Chi is about moving with intention, responding to changes, and maintaining that connection with your opponent's energy, even as you're manipulating it.
Exactly. And there are advanced concepts like empty and full, listening and sticking, that all play into this ability to blend with your opponent's movements and redirect their force.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've explored the historical roots, the core principles, and even touched on some of the practical and philosophical aspects of both Taijiquan and Qigong.
It's been a good overview so far.
Yeah.
Right?
Where do we go from here? What other insights can we glean from these classics?
I think it's time we delve into some of the more advanced concepts and see how they bring these seemingly disparate practices together.
I'm ready. Let's unpack those deeper layers.
These practices are full of fascinating concepts that might seem abstract at first glance.
I know.
But they hold the keys to unlocking a deeper understanding of Taijiquan and Qigong.
I'm all about those aha moments.
Yeah.
What are some of those concepts that really take these practices to a deeper level?
Well, in Taijiquan, there's this idea of empty and full.
Okay.
It's about shifting your weight and creating emptiness on one side to draw your opponent's energy in.
Interesting.
Almost like a magnet.
So it's not about meeting force with force, but about creating space and using your opponent's momentum against them.
Exactly. One of the classics uses a brilliant analogy to illustrate this. Imagine a half-full water bottle lying on its side. If you suddenly tilt it, the water rushes to that side. It's the same with Tai Chi.
I see.
By shifting your weight, you can subtly lead your opponent's energy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like you're using their force to fuel your own movements.
You got it.
Wow.
And Tai Chi touchstones, Yang family secret transmissions, is full of these insightful analogies.
It seems like sensitivity is crucial in both practices.
It is.
Even though they approach it in different ways.
Absolutely.
Right.
Remember how we talked about Qigong's focus on internal energy?
Yeah.
Well, it has its own way of developing sensitivity even without a direct opponent.
I'm curious to hear more about that.
Yeah.
How does Qigong approach sensitivity without that external interaction?
It's about cultivating mindfulness.
Okay.
About tuning in to those subtle internal sensations. It's like becoming aware of the orchestra playing within your own body.
So even though there's no external opponent, you're still developing that ability to sense and respond to subtle changes.
Precisely.
Okay.
And just like in Tai Chi, that awareness can have profound effects on your overall well-being.
Yeah.
It allows you to respond to stress and challenges with more grace and ease.
It sounds like both practices are about developing a heightened awareness.
Yes.
Whether it's directed outward to an opponent's energy or inward to your own internal state.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
And that awareness is key to unlocking the transformative potential of both practices.
This has been so insightful.
Good.
It feels like we're really getting a feel for the nuanced differences and surprising connections between Taijiquan and Qigong.
I'm glad to hear that. And there's still so much more to uncover.
Right.
These classics are full of wisdom that can help us understand not just the physical movements, but the underlying philosophy that makes these practices so enduring.
All right, let's keep diving deeper. What else can we learn from these ancient texts?
It's fascinating how these practices, while distinct in their approach, ultimately lead to a similar destination, a deeper connection with yourself and a greater sense of well-being.
Yeah. It's like they're different paths leading up the same mountain, each with its own unique challenges and rewards.
That's a great way to put it, and it's really up to the individual to discover which path resonates most with them.
So it's not about one being better than the other, but about finding the practice that best aligns with your personal goals and preferences.
Absolutely. And remember, these classics are just a starting point. Both Taijiquan and Qigong are living traditions, so there's always more to learn and explore.
I'm already feeling inspired to dive in and experience these practices firsthand.
That's wonderful. And whether you choose the fluid movements of Tai Chi Chuan or the quiet stillness of Qigong, I think you'll find that both offer a profound journey of self-discovery.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I had no idea how much depth and nuance there was to these practices.
It's been a pleasure exploring these classics with you and uncovering the hidden gems of wisdom they contain.
Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts for our listener who might be feeling that same spark of inspiration?
Absolutely. If you're intrigued by what you've heard today, I encourage you to explore both Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong. See what resonates with you. There are so many resources available, from local classes to online resources. You might be surprised by what you discover.
That's great advice. And remember, it's not about mastering these practices overnight, but about enjoying the journey of exploration and discovery.
Exactly. Embrace the process, be patient with yourself, and most importantly, have fun.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong. A huge thank you to our experts for guiding us through these fascinating classics and sharing their insights.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listener, we hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as we have. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.